Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And a blessed Monday to you. I hope and pray that you are bathing in the divine mercy from Sunday, which we so celebrated so beautifully yesterday. Today, we're taking questions from you, our viewers. So if you're watching, it's Monday, give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. If you are calling and you are outside North America, you can reach us at area code 205-271-2980, and you can always send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com, and check us out on Facebook. Well, on this beautiful Monday, the question for today's show is this: how does receiving divine mercy lead to extending divine mercy to others? And can you share an example? And we had so many people that contacted us to let us know their thoughts on divine mercy. And it was so beautiful yesterday. We went to early morning mass at 7:15 at the cathedral. And if you weren't able to get to Mass, I hope and pray that you were able to tune into EWTN, because EWTN certainly had coverage from all over the world on Divine Mercy Sunday, and it was outstanding. And so I pray that this day for you, that you are really soaking in the extravagant mercy of our Lord Jesus. In spite of what you've done and who you are, that you would know that no matter what, He loves you.
Amen. So
He
we
loves you.
We want to hear from you. We want you to call us, send us an email, and share your thoughts on divine mercy, in particular, what it means to receive divine mercy and then to extend divine mercy. Because it's not simply a call alone for us to receive divine mercy, and it really could become a question to me: have I received divine mercy if I'm not extending divine mercy? And I've received so much mercy in my life, divine mercy from God, and I'm sure all weekend we've heard about what divine mercy is and so on. And Pope Francis wrote that document, Misericordiae Vultus, the face of mercy. The face of mercy is Jesus Christ. And we know that beautiful image that Sister Faustina, the Lord came to her and painted that image. And I love that his knee is bent. Jesus' knee is bent, coming to us, coming to you, that we have a Father in Jesus Christ who searches for us. And mercy. I often think of don't touch the power lines. I always use this illustration for mercy. You're not supposed to touch the power lines if they're down, or somebody's being electrocuted. If you touch them, you're going to get electrocuted. But divine mercy goes after the electrical cord, the power line that's going to kill you, kill him. And he takes hold of it, and he dies for us, you see? He's not afraid to touch those who are hurting, who are weak, who are sinful, who need his mercy. He said, I came to seek and save the lost. I didn't come for the well, I came for the sick. And he comes to us and he grabs our lives with all that he knows about our lives, the good and the bad about our lives, the weaknesses, the strengths. And he dies for us. He gives his life for us, that we might know the mercy of God and be so filled with forgiveness, as those first apostles were filled with forgiveness. When he came in among them, those who did not stay with him, and he showed them his hands and his side. And he said, Shalom, peace be with you, blessing be with you. And to Thomas, who wasn't there the first time, then the second time he was there, put your fingers here, Thomas. Put your hand into my side. Maybe that's what you need to do today, spiritually. Or as you receive the Holy Eucharist, say, Lord, I just want to come totally into you and you into me. Will you allow the Lord to minister to you? Will you allow divine mercy to come to you? And then through you, to extend divine mercy to all of your loved ones, to your friends, and to your enemies.
So here's the question: how does receiving divine mercy lead to extending divine mercy to others? And can you share an example? And we certainly would love to hear from you. So give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. We're going to take a break and we will be right back. Welcome back. Well, remember, we're taking your questions on our show today or your comments. So if you're watching the live broadcast, it's Monday. Give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. If you are calling and you are outside North America, we would love to hear from you. Call us at 205-271-2980. And you can always send us an email with a question or a comment to Jim and Joy at ewtn.com, and check us out on Facebook. So how does receiving divine mercy lead to extending divine mercy to others? And can you share an example? And being in church on Sunday, our wonderful priest, Father Jerebic, did a beautiful sharing and a homily on forgiveness.
Yes.
And the beauty of forgiveness, because you've been forgiven and now you're going to extend it. And that's a lot easier said than done.
One of the spiritual works of mercy.
As you're working it out in your marriage, as you're working it out in family relationships, as you're working it out with coworkers. So know that Lord, just ask him, is there anybody that I need to forgive? Is there anybody that I need to love and give mercy to?
Amen.
Well, go ahead, Jim.
Dr. Brian Thatcher is here with us, our dear friend, founder of the Eucharistic Apostles of Divine Mercy. That's divinemercy.org/EADM, thedivinemercy.org/EADM. Dr. Brian, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. It's so great to have you again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's good to hear your
You must
voice.
have had a wonderful and glorious and busy day yesterday with all you do in the area of divine mercy.
Well, we were busy, but it was a great day of grace, and we just thank God for his love and mercy.
Brian, we're honing in on the mercy and receiving mercy, and the call, if you've been touched by God's divine mercy, the call to and the privilege of extending divine mercy. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, Jesus told St. Faustina that he was love and mercy itself. And when you're filled with love, you can't help but want to radiate love and give love to others. And he said that the more a soul trusts, the more graces it receives. And it's as if our heart takes in this God's love and all these graces, and our heart gets bigger and bigger. It gets so big, but yet then the graces and the trust and the love, this radiating love, radiates out to others. It's as if the rays of mercy come from the image, go through us, and then do what they're supposed to do, radiate that same joy and love out to others, and that leads to the works of mercy. And, you know, I was thinking of, we've been shipping big shipments, medical supplies overseas for 25 years. We've done 150 containers, and it's been beautiful, but that's easy in a way. When you mentioned forgiveness, shipping containers is easy. It's hard work, but harder than that is forgiveness and loving people who may have offended us or hurt us. I remember years ago I was in Canada speaking, and the first night of the mission was on forgiveness. The second night a gentleman came up to me and said, you know, after your talk last night, I just felt so compelled to call my cousin. We hadn't spoken for years. Our parents had fights many years ago, and they quit talking to each other, and they all died, and we just continued on. We didn't even know why they were arguing, but we just continued. So she called up her cousin, or he called up her cousin, and she wept on the phone.
Yes.
And said, oh, I want to get together with you. You know, if the audience goes and looks at an image of divine mercy, Jesus' right knee is bent. He's walking towards us. And that's what we have to do. Take the first step. Take the first step in humility, and we ask for reconciliation and forgiveness. If the other person rejects us, slaps us back, it's okay. But we took that first step. There'll be so much peace and joy that comes out of that when we can forgive other people and move on. And it's like we're unbound. We're not bound in the chains that keep us from running the good race and fighting the good fight.
Brian, thank you for that reflection. I'm so glad you picked that particular way of manifesting God's mercy to others. Keep up your great work, and you're always at home with Jim and with Joy anytime. God bless you, Doc.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
Well, I loved what he shared, and that is really true. Like, we could do corporal works of mercy, we could do spiritual works of mercy, and those are all beautiful and good things. You could feed the poor, clothe the naked, you know, do all those things. But you're still not at one with your spouse, or you're out of sync with a brother or a sister or a cousin, right? Like he shared. The parents were out of sync, and then the children, that went on them.
Yeah.
And then it was the ridiculousness of that.
Yes.
And Father Jerebic shared in the sermon, it's like this elephant in this room. You could be with the person, we're really not talking about it, when somebody just needs to say, hey, I forgive you. I forgive you for what you said. And the other person might go, well, I'm not sorry for what I said. They might say that. Then they might say, hey, you know what? I'm not sorry for what I said. And that's okay. Because obviously you need to counsel the ignorant, maybe whatever the deal is, but you have to let it go. Because sometimes when you don't forgive somebody, you don't speak those words, that contaminates your own soul. And so the beauty of just saying, I mean, I had to go to a family member one time and say, I love you. And the person said to me, well, I don't love you. And I said, that's okay. I do not need your love to love you. I choose to love you, and I love you. And sometimes it gets like that. It hurt that she said that, but that was what was in her heart. And I had to speak what was in my heart. And my heart was that I loved her, whether she was lovable or receiving the love or not. So it might not go the way you want it to go, but say the words. Say the words, I forgive you. I forgive you for that phone call. I forgive you for that conversation. I forgive you for that incident. And you know, sometimes the people who were, it's years go by. It's like, it's absurd. It's absurd. Let it go. If you only knew when you experience the extravagant mercy of God, then, you know, it's like that parable. God forgave him all his debt, but then he wanted to choke the guy who owed him that money. And he's like, are you kidding me? I gave you everything. And I found that with people, the people who have been given the most mercy, they're not so merciful. Like, you just like, are you kidding me? Like, we all need to examine our hearts. That's why we take this beautiful journey of Lent. We go to confession. We stand before the Lord and say, Lord, examine me if there's anything unclean, any ways where the waters aren't fresh and they're being mucked up here, Lord. Lord, cleanse me, purify me, make me whole and clean, that I will just be a vessel of love and mercy and peace and goodness and kindness.
So we have a comment here. The message of divine mercy gives us hope in a time of hopelessness. Jesus gave us a gift with such loving and powerful promises. In a sense, the graces of Divine Mercy Sunday are almost like being baptized again. You get to become like a new innocent child. You can let go of all fear and surrender all your concerns by practicing the Divine Mercy devotion and learning to truly trust in Jesus. Maureen on Facebook.
Well, and that's beautiful. And we all need to be doing that. We all need to, you know, it's fear, it's pride. And like Dr. Thatcher said, we all need to be humble. You know, what holds you back is pride. Like, I'm not going to be the first to say I'm sorry. It happens in marriages. It happens in relationships. It happens in work. I'm not going to forgive them again. Well, what's the number? 70 times 7. It means it's endless. You're just going to go on. And if you're in a relationship for any length of time, you're going to have to forgive somebody. And so do that and flow in God's extravagant mercy to you.
The spiritual works of mercy. How can we manifest to others? How can we extend mercy? Teach the ignorant. Pray for those living and dead. Correct sinners. Counsel those in doubt. Console the sorrowful. Bear wrongs patiently. And forgive wrongs willingly. Beautiful works of mercy. We're called to manifest it. We can only manifest it really if we're really truly filled, spilling over with this, or sometimes we just make a decision. You know, we've been kind of underlining the need to forgive wrongs willingly. So there's no condition on it. It's not like you have to say your part and then I do my part. I mean, that would be nice. Or even, you know, I mean, if you're going to talk to somebody, or you can write them a letter, or you do whatever, you may not even get a response. But I think you start with, if I did anything, if there is anything, or I know that I've done something, I ask your forgiveness and your mercy. If you've done anything to me, and I just want, I forgive that. It doesn't mean I'm forgetting everything about it or what took place or what was said, but I want good for you. I want that which is well for you. I want everything God wants for you in your life. You may not get a response back, but you got to do that. You have to take, as he said, the first step. God so loved us that he gave his son. And it's always said, if he would have died for one person, he would have come to us. I don't know theologically if it's right. I think he would have come if nobody came to him. I mean, we have countless people that have come to Christ, but he didn't come because everybody was going to come to him, or one person was going to come to him. He was doing that which was compelled, because God can't help but love. God can't help to extend mercy. You are a child of God. And when you know that, when you know you've been forgiven the most grievous things that you wouldn't want anybody to know, or maybe it's not sin. So we're speaking a lot about sin, but mercy isn't just about sin. Mercy is about your plight. What's happened to you, where you are, what abnormality you have, a special condition that you have. Maybe you're a victim in something. You've lost someone, like myself in an early age, losing my mother at age 5. And it's not a sin. I didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. She got sick and died. But I had godly women, so many women in my life, who extended mercy to me. They weren't my mother, but they just loved me simply for who I was. They extended mercy. And it gave me a heart of mercy for orphan children and for children that might be aborted and so on. Because I received mercy. I want to extend mercy. I want to raise up people that want to extend mercy to people. One of the words for mercy, I know we got people trying to get in. Well, let's take a comment and then we'll share more.
It says, the Divine Mercy Devotion helps remind me to be merciful to those who are often judged and often held in contempt, especially the unloved in our community and in the world. And I often picture myself as one of them, and I'm moved to pity. I know I've learned and experienced this through God's mercy on me, a sinner. And this is Judy on Facebook. And God gives us opportunities, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where we get to see him. We work in downtown Birmingham. We have a lot of poor and begging people. Often you have to be wise and discerning. In counseling the ignorant, in counseling the doubtful. We get to do that every day on a daily basis with girls that might be abortion-minded and they don't know. They want an abortion, but they don't know what an abortion is, and you get to take them down that journey. Yeah. And sometimes you get to tell them the truth, and they choose to abort anyway. And that's a whole nother mercy, level that you have to enter into. And for me, in my own soul's sake, a forgiveness, right?
Yes.
When they choose not to
and
do
we
the
were
right
discussing
thing.
with our team today, Divine Mercy, our team at Her Choice Birmingham Women's Center, where we're ministering to the women that you're talking about. We get 1,000 to 1,500 a year that we're sharing with. 40% are coming in for abortions. That's what they think they want. But anyway, we were speaking about mercy. One of the words for mercy is womb in Hebrew, rahimim, something like that. And so mercy is like a womb, if God would have a womb, just covering you and filling you and sensing you, like Our Lady, with the Mother of Mercy, with Jesus. And I've always found that women who've had abortions, once they get reconciled to God, they understand what has taken place, and they know the mercy of God comes on them and says, you're not abortion, you're my daughter, and they're forgiven. They become some of the most, as John Paul II, St. John Paul said, some of the most eloquent spokespersons on behalf of a life. Those who are forgiven much love much. Those who are forgiven much love much. The greater the sinner, the greater their right to my mercy, says the Lord. If we would just let the Lord minister to us, instead of trying to take care of it ourselves and being depressed, trying to figure it out, maybe suicide, maybe drugs, maybe alcohol, maybe another relationship, maybe whatever, because I just got to take care of this pain. Let me minister to you. Because we could reject divine mercy.
Yes.
I'm trying, and I've done that in my life at various times, even when I'm walking with the Lord strong. And I believe I heard the Lord or Our Lady say that to me. Let me minister to you. So receive God's divine mercy. Receive his mercy. Let him pour it out. Oh, I did that years ago. Do it now. Do it today. Pour it out. Let him break and soften any hardened heart. Let him come to you who think you are so ugly. And let him come to you and say, you are my bride, you are my daughter, you are my son, and I'm very pleased with you. And then extend mercy. We're going to be right back. There's plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, before we wrap up today's show, we're going to go to Rome to check in with beautiful Joan Lewis. Now, Joan, tell us about Divine Mercy Sunday in Rome.
Well, greetings, Jim and Joy, wishing you and yours and all of our viewers a very blessed week. Yesterday, of course, was a very blessed Sunday because it was Divine Mercy Sunday, the second Sunday of Easter, and it was also the second time that Pope Francis has celebrated this feast day in the Rome Church of Santo Spirito in Sassia. Now, you may remember that last year, for many months, all churches in Italy were closed to Mass, but on this particular feast day, the Holy Father did, with very few faithful, celebrate Mass. And I'm sure you know the story of the Polish nun, now Saint Faustina Kowalska, who was a great devotee to Divine Mercy. And in several revelations to Faustina, Jesus asked that a feast day be dedicated to Divine Mercy, and this be done on the Sunday after Easter. Then in 1994, by the way, before the canonization, but St. John Paul declared this particular church as the Divine Mercy Spirituality Center. Now, this feast day, the celebration was granted to Poland and was marked within Vatican City, but was extended to the Universal Church by Pope John Paul the day he canonized Faustina on April 30th, 2000. Then a month later in May, the Congregation for Sacraments declared that the second Sunday of Easter will receive the name Divine Mercy Sunday. Now, yesterday, again, only a small number of faithful did attend the papal Mass, including male and female prison inmates, some refugees, nurses, disabled people, a migrant family, and also some of the missionaries of mercy priests who were celebrating with the Pope. And the Pope told his listeners, "You represent some of the situations in which mercy is made tangible. It becomes closeness, service, care for those in difficulties." He also said, "The grace of receiving mercy is the starting point of our Christian journey. Only if we accept the love of God will we be able to offer something to the world, something new to the world." And this is what the disciples did. Receiving mercy, they in turn became merciful. Now, after Mass yesterday, of course, the Pope stayed in church, recited the Regina Caeli with the faithful there. And before I close, I just want one searing memory I have of Pope Francis is the first Mass he celebrated as Pope, March 17th, 2013, in the small Vatican parish of Sant'Anna. And at that time, his homily, almost entirely off the cuff, was dedicated to mercy and to forgiveness. So, well, on that note, I close. Time is up. I don't know where it's gone, but back to you.
Joan, thank you so much for that sharing and always connecting us with the Holy Father and the great work going on there and through there, the Vatican. So thank you so very, very much. And Joy and I, we look forward to interviewing on Wednesday and Thursday Charles D. Engle, who's written a book, Alessandro Serenelli, A Story of Forgiveness. Everybody knows St. Maria Goretti.
Right.
This is the man who murdered her, and his story. So he's not just a murderer, he's a child of God who was plunged in divine mercy, who was accompanied along the way of divine mercy, so to speak, by St. Maria Goretti and by Assunta, the mother of Maria Goretti. And he receives divine mercy and extends divine mercy. Isn't that wonderful? That Christ has come for the greatest of sinners and to forgive them, to fill them with God's grace and mercy, that they might extend mercy, accept mercy, be merciful, and totally trust in Jesus. You're an important part of this family. You're always at home with Jim and Joy. Keep it on EWTN. Bye now.